But it's quieting down a bit now, and I've hung around and I've finally managed to get the tent pitched. So this is the new version of the MSR Access 1. It's a lightweight 4-season backpacking tent. If I spin you around, first thing I notice is the fly sheet doesn't extend all the way to the ground. So the purists out there might say, well, it's not a 4-season tent then. Well, let's see. It's nice and robust. It's got the cyclone carbon poles with a kind of jointing system, a hub system on it. So there's only one pole, you've just got to clip it all together. Like I say, I've never had it out of the bag before, so I need to undo all the guy lines and just get it pitched. You've got extra guy out points, as you can see on the fly, but it's a nice colour. It's a nice warming colour. It certainly stands out, and you'll be able to see it in the snow. You've got a vent at each end with those sort of velcro standouts which keep it rigid and keep the vent open, and you've got a guy out point at each end. Small pack size. There is going to be some airflow. A lot of people, I had a mate many years ago, I had the old Access one, and there was a lot of condensation. There was only one vent then. To the best of my knowledge now, they've improved it. There's a vent at the head and the foot end. There's only the one vent in the inner, which you'll see when we get inside. But it's always a trade-off. It's designed for winter. It's designed for backcountry ski touring, I think it says on the website. So, you know, it's designed to keep the warm air in. And those that cry condensation, tents aren't faulty because they suffer from condensation. It's physics, I've said it before. There is some misunderstanding about it. The only sort of truth in the matter is that some tents deal with condensation to a better degree than other tents. Now, 4-season tents invariably have less venting. They're designed to keep that warm air in. Once you're warm inside, they're designed to trap it a little bit more, and the byproduct of that is you will get condensation on the inside of the tent in colder weather, because it's simple physics. It never bothers me. Some people hate it, but you know, there's nothing you can do. And when you come winter camping, you want to trap all the warmth that you can. That's a 70-litre pack there, and when I've got the door shut, there'll be more than enough room for that and to cook. Of course, you can bring your pack in if you want, but it's nice and tall. I've not been in yet. I can't wait to get inside and have a look, but I could definitely sit up in there. So I'm going to get the rest of the guys undone. Temperature is plummeting as we are losing the sun behind Weatherlam, but a fantastic spot. There's a bit of snow on the higher fells. Oh, absolutely idyllic, and it's solitude now. There's no one else around, and we can enjoy the rest of this camp. That is the sun about to go, and that'll be it. It's going to be a very cold night, very cold indeed, and then there's a weather front heading in tomorrow, and there's going to be some buffeting winds and some rain from around 10 AM. So the plan is to enjoy this evening, make the most of it, and then be away before the bad weather hits. But yeah, good quality tent, nice and light. I didn't read the pitching instructions, I honestly didn't. I've actually not looked at any pitching videos. You can't really get it wrong, and the poles can go both ways. So there you go. Let's stop talking and let's get in, get out of this cold breeze. What you're seeing and what I'm seeing is exactly the same. Never been in this before. Double zipper, yeah, correct. One at the top, at the bottom, and we got this kind of D-shaped door. Extreme shield waterproof coating. First thing that springs to mind is a massive bathtub. That's really steep, and I'm glad Orange Fest, the white balance, doesn't know what to do. I'm glad because the fly sheet doesn't extend all the way down, so if there's a bit of splashback from the rain hitting the ground on wet saturated ground, you don't need to worry about any water ingress into the inner. So that's good. Sitting room, let's try that out. Wow, that's massive, really is. Definitely got room to spare. What a fantastic tent. It's very deceptive actually, in terms of the room, because I was looking at it thinking it's absolutely tiny, but it's the height and the apex of this tent. Got a nice lantern hook, bits to string lines from, tie back. Yeah, very pleasant inside. So if it stands up to the weather, this could be a cracking tent. Storage, we've got a net on this side, and on the other all the way across, so that's great for your mobile phone and your other bits. But wow, yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. When I saw the size I thought this is going to be tiny and claustrophobic, and it's not, so that's good. Right, let's turn it into home. Hopefully the XTHERM is going to fit in here. From the diagram I looked at, it should technically. So yeah, let's make it like home. I'm just raising my voice a bit because I'm on the GoPro just for this shot. But so this is the NeoAir XTHERM NXT Max. It's got a high R value, much higher R value than my X Lite. So this is designed for cold weather camping, and I've never used it before, and I'm about to inflate it for the first time. Probably something I should have checked, but what I'm also using for the first time is this, the Zero Pump by Flextail Gear. They've done the rounds, a lot of people have tested them, there's sort of mixed reviews on it. The thing that stands out to me, which they're addressing in another version, is that you've got to use it's replaceable batteries, so you can't recharge them in the unit itself. There's no USB-C input. I personally think that was a bit of a fail on Flextail's part initially, but you know, they are making it so that the future version, there's a USB-C input, you can just charge it in-house. It's got a rechargeable battery in it, but you've got one of those, you know, you've got to have a battery charger, standalone battery charger for it. However, never used it before, and hopefully it's going to inflate this mat, so I'll bring you back. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but like watching paint dry. It makes a funny noise. It's quite a unique one. It's like an angry bee. It's doing the job. So here's my review on the Zero Pump. In short, don't buy it. This is the second unit I've got, which is faulty. The first one didn't work, just stopped after a couple of seconds. This one is stopped and the mat hasn't even inflated. It's a fully charged battery, just making a weird clicking noise. It's like the motor's stuck. I've taken the battery out, I've cleaned the terminals, I've tightened it up again, but my mat is not inflated and the pump stopped working. Stupidly, I didn't bring it back up, so I should have known better really, given the first one failed. So I wouldn't personally recommend these. If you've got one and it works, great, but Flextail, my view is this product isn't ready for market, because that's now the second faulty unit that I've had. So disappointing. I'm gonna have to blow it up with my mouth and leave it to wear out when I get back home. Well, this is a large mat, so it's the large version, and there's a bit of room to spare. There's about 10 centimeters down there. I've got a few bits and pieces just stashed away, and there's still a bit of room width-wise in the tent. This is a big mat, a thick mat as well. I'm sitting on the mat and I've still got more than enough clearance toward the roof of the tent. And at the head end, again, plenty of room there as well. So this tent is deceptively large. The steep walls and the nice high apex sort of combine to give a lot of livable space and usable volume. So that's it. I've got some nature hike down trousers to get into. I'm going to get them on because it's absolutely Baltic now. I'm going to get my down jacket on. Really disappointing. I'm not going to keep labouring the point. I've taken the battery out of it, and I don't think it'll do the mat any harm, just on the one occasion, just to inflate it. But again, it's not something I'd ordinarily do. So yeah, we'll just make the final adjustments and we'll open the first beer. Well, I'll just quickly show you a couple of beers that we brought on this one. We've got a chocolate fudge brownie stout, Northern Monk 8.4. That's the final beer of the evening. And when we're having our tea, a Heathen hazy IPA, really nice, that, very cutting, and it's perfectly chilled here. So what I'm going to do now is have a little bit of a walk around outside, just generate a bit of warmth, get some pictures, put my down trousers on. This is all set up, you know, it's sort of reasonably organised. I know where everything is anyway, so yeah, 2 pillows because I like to sleep high. We've got, like I say, these hanging hooks are useful. You can put a line there for drying some clothes and stuff, but you know, yeah. So I brought my mittens on this. YouTuber that I love, Eric Normark, it's good to see him producing content again. He uses Hestra Kebnekaise mittens for real cold weather stuff. So these have got 2 layers. You've got a really durable leather palm and thumb there, and inside we've got this nice wool lining. Bit of a luxury item, but if you're coming out in winter you've got to have warm hands, and these do the job really well. Easy to operate, and when you've got one on, you know, you can adjust the other one. You still have some dexterity because you've got your fingers together in the one sort of space. There's a bit of warmth which is, you know, allowed to sort of circulate in there as well. So lovely and toasty. I have got a hand warmer by a Cooper. We'll try that out later. We're going to have a little look outside, take in the final views before we lose all of the light, and then we'll open the first beer and get some evening meal cooking on the stove. Well, it looks pretty special, lit up from within. That nice fiery glow with the orange fly. Good stuff. Impressed with this so far. Let's see how it performs in the longer term and in some worse weather. It would be nice to be on top of those peaks over there, because no doubt there's a little bit of precipitation falling on the tops where it's just shrouded in the cloud, and no doubt that will be falling as snow. So I hope that a bit more cloud rolls in. There is a little bit down to the south, but we'll see. If we wake up to a dusting of snow, that'll just be ideal. You miss, well, I miss the winter camps. Totally different when you're out, and there's not many people really come out wild camping at this time of year. It's less popular, isn't it, winter wild camping? I know it is amongst, you know, the people that will watch this and, you know, my mates, but generally speaking it's a bit quieter, isn't it, on the fells once the sun's gone down. So there's something special about it with the cold air. It's like still air, isn't it? And it's just a whole different atmosphere, especially when there's some snow and ice potentially on the way. It's always a bit more exciting, I think, and a bit more interesting, especially when you're hunkered down in your cosy shelter and you've got some nice food. Well, beans and sausages, I don't mind that. It's comfort food. I used to like that when I was little, and I always used to get that when I first started to come camping. So yeah, back to my roots. Right, so just been out taking a couple of photos and just taking it all in. I didn't have my gloves on because I was taking photos and I can't operate my camera with those mitts on. So these are from a Cooper. I'm going to put links below. If you're not interested, just skip this bit. But they come as a pair and they're magnetised, so they will sit together like so. They are USB-C rechargeable. I don't know all the specs off the top of my head because I'm just trying them out at the moment. I'll tell you more in a future video, but yeah, come as a pair. Press and hold just to turn that on, and there's 4 levels of heat denoted by those small LEDs. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's on the highest level. Now they start warming up quickly. I can feel the heat on that already, and of course you've got 2, 1 for each hand. So I'm trying to do this one-handed. So that's it. And they are warming already. Clearly I'm holding the camera with my right hand, but they fit nicely into your palm. They've got these lanyards that you can have on or not if you don't want, but they really do a good job heating up really quickly. You get this nice storage pouch for them as well, so you can keep them sort of scratch free and protected in your backpack. There's a bit of weight, so the gram counters will, you know, not like that, but for me, I enjoy comfort camping. I take lots of things with me and I like to make the most of it and just enjoy it, and that's how I like my wild camp. So yeah, that's it's nice and warm. You get the benefit pretty sort of quickly. You can also use them as a emergency power bank. You can plug your devices into there. You can also put them together as one and just have it as a bit of a giant one. And when you do that, the inside element cleverly switches off. So it's two-sided heating. You've got this side and obviously the opposite side when you've got them as standalone units, so you can wrap your hands around them. When you put them together, the inside heating element switches off, you know, just to save it overheating there where the two surfaces are in contact. So yeah, good bit of kit. I am gonna keep taking photos, get some more images, some more night shots of the tent lit up from within. And I'll take these out with me, put them in my pockets, and keep my hands nice and warm and keep my dexterity. Right, we've got our blanket on. You can ditch that. Just lower that down. 7 minutes, just make a note of the time roughly. Right. Yeah, rapid. But it's time for this. The heathen. Grapefruit. Lovely, really nice hazy IPA. A fine drop. And I'd say to my daughter, shout out Tom and Emily. Yeah, so that's warming through. Impressed with the tent. Clear skies, low temperatures, warm gear. What more do you want? Cheers, as always, to the great outdoors. Now, shout out going solo. Don't say MCM Outdoors doesn't match you in terms of culinary delights. Who needs all those fresh ingredients on a camp when you can buy a plastic pouch of beans and sausages and heat it up, you know? I'm only joking, obviously. If you haven't watched Todd's videos going solo, I'll leave a link to his channel below mine in the description. He makes some fantastic wild camping videos. They're really well made, and his meals are, yeah, real meals with fresh ingredients, and I always look forward to what he's going to cook up. So Todd, all the best, mate, and I'm looking forward to your next video. That always happens. You never get, and then you pull it and you get bean juice everywhere. I'm not going to fight with that. Right, well, it looks like beans and sausages. Anyway, it's all I had in, so it was either that or I don't know. But yeah, let's film myself eating 1 spoonful of beans and sausage, the obligatory 1 mouthful. It is nice and warming, especially in your hands. It's all right. It's basic. It'll do the job. And we've got our beer, and we've got some nuts and a little bit of cheese to enjoy later. So that's it. We'll eat this. We'll chill out for a bit, and I'll bring you back a little bit later on. Gooey, sticky, rich and decadent chocolate fudge brownie stout. Well, does it live up to that very dramatic and, you know, outrageous description? There is an aroma of like a coffee shop, like a chocolate shop, which has filled the tent. I'm not going to do a situational beer review. They are reserved for October camp only. Hope you enjoyed them. It's quite a challenge actually, especially when you're drunk. Oh, that is very nice. It's very rich. I think the London Brewing Co. did something called Zia many years ago, and it's very similar to that. But yeah, I'm going to get some tunes on. You can't hear that for copyright reasons, as my video will get taken down. We might even get some Christmas carols on, some festive ones. We're not going all out, but we might go a little bit traditional, you know, King's College, Cambridge Choir or something, just to get in the mood really. So yeah, it's a bit sad that, isn't it? But whatever, each to their own. So I'm going to enjoy this last beer, and then, you know, we might up the ante, get a bit of Motown on. Who knows how the night's going to pan out. There's no one else up here, so there's no chance of an impromptu tent party. But yeah, it's lovely out there. Milky Way, stars, fireworks in the distance, and you can still see the light on Coniston Water just reflected from the stars and the moonlight, so it's epic. So I'll speak to you before bed, but yeah, really enjoying it and really enjoying this tent. Speak to you in a bit. Well, good morning everyone. We are all set for a spectacular sunrise. There's some low cloud on the horizon, might obscure it a bit. A big bank of cloud over Weatherlam, or just beyond it, looks like a UFO. And yeah, looking a little bit further north, icy cold wind, bit of a temperature inversion in some of the valleys. Absolutely stunning, and it won't be long before the sun is popping up, so we've got to be reasonably quick because there's a front heading in. So this is deceptive at the moment. It's lovely, albeit cold, but there's some real bad weather heading in, and we need to be brewed up, packed up and off before that happens. But just magical. These moments, you just don't get them in a hotel. And there's some lovely hotels, isn't there? And, you know, Airbnbs and nice places that you can stay, but you never get this. You've got to come in, some people would say, endure uncomfortable conditions. Being uncomfortable, personally I don't, because I enjoy it, but a lot of people, there's that sort of mental block, isn't it? Oh, it's freezing, I won't survive. Well, you will. Get some gear and come out and experience these things yourself. So that's it, the end of yet another fantastic wild camp in the great outdoors, this time obviously in the Lake District National Park. I've really enjoyed myself. It's been really relaxing, really mindful, absolutely magical memories made, especially last night, looking at the stars, looking at the Milky Way, some nice tunes on, and waking up to such a fantastic sunrise. And that is what it's all about. Just get out there, enjoy it. If you've got any questions about the kit or gear reviews, just let me know in the comment section below and I'll respond to every single question. I try my best to get back to every comment too. Thanks for watching. Give it a like, check out the back catalogue, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Take care.